Hey everyone, happy Sunday. I wanted to hop on real quick here. I was just finishing up or sending out the emails for the registrants for the Quickstart Guide to Leading Through Crisis, and a pretty good turnout. And with that comes maybe a good time to talk about the outcomes from the course because there's still time to get in. Still time. Normally, I would be a bit more of a hard ass on it with closing and things like that, but I understand people are busy, times are busy, people are stressed out. There's a lot of different things going on, so letting it slide a little bit more than normally I would on a bigger launch. So topic one is around respect and values-based leadership, and how in that content, which starts Monday morning, so tomorrow morning, dripped it's called. We talk about values-based leadership and respect-based leadership. So we cover things like what are values and how important they are in leadership, particularly during crisis, because during crisis the hard and fast rules don't apply. So you need to make sure that you know what your values are, and which are essentially kind of a moral compass or a guide that, in the absence of clear direction, you can rely on your values to make the decision for you instead of adhering to rules that, frankly, post COVID have been absolutely obliterated. So we talk about the values based leadership model, and also with that, respect. And that is such oh man, if I had a dime for everybody that asked me that question about Daryl, how do I get respect? Like, I don't get it, or the team just doesn't respect me. Well, there's a fundamental challenge with that, and that is often in the approach. To get leadership, or sorry, to get respect, you have to give it first. And so I talk a lot about the leaders eat last, but always go first model in that first module released tomorrow. So, and with that means if I want respect, I give it first. Gone are those days when, are where just from my position I got respect. Those days are long gone. So if you want to get respect, you have to give it first. Vulnerability, you have to be vulnerable first. Compassion first. Empathetic first. All of those things, and that's just the burden of leadership. So we talk at length about that and how to really gain respect as a leader. And then a couple days later, we get into the topic around leaders are calm. So we spend a bit of time around talking about stress. Not all stress is bad, actually, and what the dire impacts are if you become too stressed out. So that's the second module, because the whole idea is if you can't control what happens on the inside, if you're a basket case internally, you have zero ability to impact or influence other people. Then we talk about not micromanaging, how not to micromanage. So setting expectations effectively. So I walk you through, or the participants will be walked through, a very specific framework that I developed so that everyone's on the same page. There's no ambiguity. There's no frustration. And as a leader, you can hold people accountable, but also from a respect perspective. Brene Brown says clarity is kindness. So what you're doing with your team is, if you're setting clear expectations, you're not moving the yardstick. And I know for me, with leadership, and part of the challenge leading during crisis is those expectations of what the incident is requiring change. And that is very, very difficult. But as a leader, you can still hold people accountable. You can still set expectations for them so that they know what the right and the left is. And that is, there's a very specific and easy to follow framework that I give you in the program. We talk about leaders are communicators. So we're bad listeners. Newsflash: we are poor listeners, human beings, and it's sad but true. So within the program, the Quick Start Guide, I give you two techniques that, again, you can use like literally as soon as you watch the video around active listening. One is restatement, and one is inquiry, which is an open-ended question. And that allows you as a leader, especially during crisis, to have much better conversations and have a much better size up completed before you even decide what to do about a particular issue or challenge. So keep that in mind. And then with that, because I really want to help you along through the process, I want to make sure that you are supported. So we have two live calls one towards the end of the first week and the end of the second week. So keep that in mind. So a lot of support there. Also, there will be access to our Lead from the Inside Out Facebook group. So I encourage you to sign up, and it's an inexpensive program. It's designed for tactics, minimal viable effort. So what is the most impact I can have with the least amount of effort in the least amount of time? So follow the URL there, and I would encourage you to hop on because we're starting tomorrow. So hopefully see you there. Have a great rest of the day, folks.